Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. Happy Public Service Awareness Week. Bonne semaine nationale de la fonction publique. Notre gouvernement est déterminé à appuyer les fonctionnaires chargés de protéger la sécurité et la sûreté des Canadiens. From firefighters confronting wildfires to paramedics helping keep communities safe to border services officers maintaining the safe flow of people and products across the borders, these frontline workers play crucial roles, and they deserve a pension plan that reflects the demanding nature of their safety and security responsibilities. On December 21st, 2023, I received a recommendation from the Public Service Pension Advisory Committee on expanding the eligibility for early retirement to occupational groups who promote the safety and the security of Canadians. Ces dispositions permettraient de prendre sa retraite après 25 ans de service sans réduction de la pension. Today, following careful consideration over many months, I am announcing that in the fall of 2024, we will introduce legislative changes to expand the eligibility for early pensions, specifically to frontline employees in the following groups: firefighters, paramedics, correctional service employees, border services officers, parliamentary protection officers, and search and rescue technicians. These proposed changes will provide consistency to how the pension plan recognizes the demanding nature of day-to-day duties for these occupational groups who have an absolutely critical role in promoting and protecting the safety and security of the population of our country. En tant que le plus grand employeur du pays, nous sommes reconnaissants de la contribution continue de ces employés de première ligne et de l'ensemble du service public. Nous sommes impatients de travailler avec toutes les parties pour adopter les amendements législatifs nécessaires le plus rapidement possible. Merci. Je pourrais recevoir vos questions maintenant.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Would you please state your name and your outlet? We'll do one question, one follow-up.
Bonjour, Madame Anand. L'entente avec les agents frontaliers va être annoncée un peu plus tard aujourd'hui. Évidemment, vous ne pouvez pas vous avancer à cette heure-ci, mais est-ce que vous pouvez au moins confirmer si le gouvernement fédéral a fait des concessions en termes de télétravail et est-ce que vous avez préservé le droit de gestion en matière de télétravail pour les agents frontaliers?
Merci. Bonjour aussi à vous. Premièrement, je voudrais dire que le télétravail, c'est une matière que nous prenons très au sérieux et nous continuons de travailler avec les syndicats pour s'assurer qu'ils ont les appuis nécessaires pour travailler chez eux ou l'autre place. Donc, ça, c'est un enjeu différent que le travail dans le bureau. Et comme vous savez, cet enjeu n'est pas une matière d'entente avec les syndicats.
Donc, juste confirmer, vous ne l'avez pas inclus dans la nouvelle convention collective des agents frontaliers?
Aujourd'hui, pour cette entente, ça, c'est un enjeu que, comme j'ai dit, nous prenons très au sérieux. Et les détails de cette entente vont être publics quand les syndicats va décider de faire ça. Et je pense que ça, c'est aujourd'hui, mais ce n'est pas une matière pour moi de divulguer les détails maintenant.
Comment vous qualifiez cette entente-là que vous avez conclue avec les agents frontaliers?
Pardon?
Comment vous qualifiez cette entente-là? Est-ce que c'est une bonne entente? Comment est-ce que vous la décrivez, cette entente-là?
Je voudrais dire que nous avons pris le temps nécessaire pour arriver à une entente équitable pour les fonctionnaires et pour les contribuables aussi. Donc, les détails vont être publics, je pense qu'aujourd'hui, mais quand le syndicat va décider de faire ça. Donc, peut-être je pourrais recevoir d'autres questions maintenant.
On the question of the 3 days a week back in the office, where's that standing, and have you been getting grievances?
We have heard from public servants, for sure, but I want to reiterate that that was a decision that was taken by the public service for the public service. It was a decision taken by deputy ministers as well as the clerk of the Privy Council. It was not a political decision. And so what I am here today to announce is something that is within my purview, which is support for public servants in the area of their pension benefits. These are issues that have been in front of me since I became minister, and in fact in front of Minister Fortier when she was minister. We are pleased to be able to accept the recommendations of the PS-PAC committee so that we can provide pension supports to public servants who are on the front lines for our country, especially in the time of forest fires and floods, where we rely on these individuals. I want to thank them for their incredible work, and we are so pleased to be able to put forward legislative amendments in the fall that will support their pension benefits and early retirement.
But you're in charge of the Treasury Board, which means you're in charge of the public service. Then why leave it up to the bureaucrats instead of you giving the direction?
So the direction came from the minister prior to me and our government that return to office was not going to be part of the collective agreement. That was the decision that was taken, and that was accepted by the union, and we continue to walk down that path. We will continue to support our public servants wherever and however possible, within the bounds of collective agreements, of course, and within the bounds of what we can do as a government. But I want to stress today that the announcement is about early retirement and pension benefits for public servants, and I really don't want to underestimate the magnitude of what I am announcing today in terms of these are issues and requests and concerns that frontline workers and the union heads themselves have brought forward to us repeatedly. One of my first meetings as minister, as president of the Treasury Board, was actually with firefighters from D&D, where I heard from them how important it was for them to have early retirement benefits. I want to thank them for sharing their stories with me, and I want to thank Chris Aylward for bringing that meeting together so that we could have a meaningful and fruitful conversation when I first started as president of the Treasury Board. And I will just say those conversations are very important to me, and I have not forgotten them. Thank you.
This is the Ottawa Citizen. I'm wondering if you can share how much expanding these benefits will cost.
Most definitely, I would love to provide you with that information. The cost of expanding early retirement eligibility is estimated to include a one-time cost of approximately $175 million and ongoing annual costs of approximately $21 million. That is the precise answer to your question.
And also, in the future, do you expect to expand benefits to other public servants as well, or?
We are definitely open to receiving recommendations from the PS-PAC committee. Again, I want to reiterate that the rationale for the announcement today and the groups who are covered, which is a sizable list of fonctionnaires of public servants, a sizable group here: firefighters, paramedics, correctional service employees, border services officers, parliamentary protection officers, search and rescue technicians. The rationale for that particular group is as follows: the demanding and risky nature of the duty, the demanding training and certification requirements, and the lack of opportunity for public service mobility. And so I will say that there's a rationale there, but the conversation with the PS-PAC committee continues. And I look forward to having that committee. And you can see how seriously I have taken their recommendations and how seriously I take the conversation with them. Thank you.
So we're just going to go to Catherine.
Catherine May, Policy Options, if you still have how many more sort of safety, security, law enforcement workers that are not covered? And if you've gone this far for these, who are seeking, particularly the border guards, parity with the RCMP, has Treasury Board accepted that principle of parity with the RCMP?
Treasury Board is very much engaged with the PS-PAC committee and the rationales that they put forward, and I just listed those 3 rationales. That is the reasoning behind the announcement that I am making right now.
Making a comparison.
We are
with
not,
this.
we are taking each group in and of itself in terms of the work that they do for our country. That does not seek to minimize the work of other groups, and as I said, I look forward to making sure that we have that conversation with the PS-PAC committee. But it would be fairly superficial to say that the reasoning behind all of this is parity with another group. There's actually been months and months of thinking about the rationale for extended pension benefits. And once again, we are approaching a very hot summer. We are going to see public servants put their lives on the line, which they do without hesitation. And the announcement today is about recognizing that work, recognizing the harm that confronts these public servants every single day, or the potential harm. And while we do not wish harm, obviously, on anyone, we want to be there as a government to support the work that they do each and every day.
So as my follow-up, no, I've forgotten the follow-up. So do you think you could have got this deal that we're going to hear about today if there wasn't this separate agreement on pensions, which seemed to be a big demand?
By law, the decisions...
Still could have...
if you could just let me finish.
Okay.
By law, we are required to ensure that pensions are not part of the collective bargaining process, and that's exactly what we made sure to do. There are 2 separate processes here. One was the bargaining on the collective agreement. The other has been going on long before the last 10 days, which is a consideration of the recommendations that came to me in December 2023 about how we can better support public servants in terms of their pension. In terms of our work going forward, again, in a few weeks I'll be announcing new members of the committee, the PS-PAC committee, and I look forward to working with those members and taking further recommendations from the committee. This is about collaboration and cooperation in terms of supports for public servants. That's the approach I take to negotiation, and that's the approach I will take in this position every day of the week.
Can I ask you a quick question on this deal on behalf of Ottawa Local? Did you need to do this for the tentative border guard deal, the timing of this?
As you can see, the number of people who are covered by this announcement extend far beyond the border workers. So what we needed to do is respond to the recommendations that came to me in December 2023 and the work that Minister Fortier had undertaken, and that's exactly what I'm ensuring I do. As you know, I'm a minister that likes to ensure I am acting, and in fact, you and I have had numerous conversations on different files over the last 2 weeks, and so you can see that I take my work extremely seriously and wanted to make sure that before the end of session, I signaled that we will be introducing legislation in the fall. And on the point about why the fall, is that we have a very, very charged legislative agenda right now with less than a week left to go. But I wanted to make sure that the department at the Treasury Board worked across government over the summer to make sure that we were ready first thing in the fall to table that recommended legislation.
Aujourd'hui pour faire cette annonce-là, alors que vous avez eu la recommandation en décembre, là, ça fait quand même 6 mois, là, 7 mois. Là.
Mais on a examiné ces recommandations pendant le dernier mois et surtout avant ça avec la ministre Fortier. Donc, je voudrais s'assurer que les fonctionnaires au Conseil du Trésor et partout dans notre gouvernement vont travailler pendant l'été là-dessus parce que nous devons continuer d'appuyer les fonctionnaires et le meilleur service public dans le monde. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you.